Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in this AFK journey video, we're going to talk about the best PvE team for Lucca and specifically building Lucca as an individual team archetype without using the common units from the other team synergies such as your Coco, Odie, Smokey for the Mauler combo, right? As well as Iron Armor's Carolina for the Iron Armor's control. So for today's video, this best PvE team won't feature those units because I want to use units which are substitutes for some units in those teams, but you use them as a main unit in this one. Okay, so starting off with our main guy for this show is Lucca. So Lucca, after multiple experimentation, is a very meaty character, very tanky, has the ability to disable the enemy with the ultimate. Right, this ability is a reposition ability with the effect to stun the enemy if they are all packed up together, and when you have all the enemies packed up together, you will be able to disarm them greatly with the Ruthless Ram once you get the EX weapon level 10 skill over here to become a 1 tile arc radius. So if you have all the units just right in front of him, he will ram them and then he will be able to disable multiple targets. So these are the control abilities of Lucca, and in this case we will be using Lucca as a mid shield, obviously, as a buffer as well as a controller for the team. So like I mentioned earlier, you want to spam your skill with Lucca. So for this case, the best unit to actually allow Lucca to spam the skill and also being a light bearer would be our dear Rowan over here. So Rowan is able to heal Lucca if he's really low on HP, provide a defense increase, and also charge the energy for the whole team for your whole team to spam their skills. So Rowan and Lucca is insanely good together, and Rowan as a character is actually used quite a bit across different teams, namely the Smokey Odie Coco team for you to accelerate the use of Smokey's ultimate and then spam your team skill. But for that team itself, Rowan is not a must-have. You can use other units to sort of replace Rowan in that slot, and you can actually use Rowan for this team as a secondary team as you move to the later stages of the AFK push itself. So that's why Rowan is quite important for this one, because he's a light bearer, he's a healer, he's also the energy charge for your tank, who is also your controller, to spam his skill. Okay, now we also need a healer for the team. So the best healer to go together with Rowan is none other than Healwin, providing the AoE heal, providing the massive damage reduction, and also being able to charge her energy when Rowan is casting the ultimate as she's channeling her first ultimate. Because one thing about Healwin is that Healwin can't actually charge her ultimate when she's using the Rain Prayer ability, but Rowan's ultimate will be able to give her energy, and by the time she finishes her first very powerful AoE heal ultimate, she will be able to use the second one really quickly to sort of provide that sustain for the team to sort of last the whole match. So this core is really good, very tanky, and also has the ability to control and disarm the enemy, provided Rowan's ultimate is able to land on the both of them. So other than that, we also need damage, and we need some AoE damage and additional control so that we will be able to go through some of the deficit stages. So Tasi comes into mind because Tasi, Rowan, and Healwin is just an incredible combo on their own, and then when you pair it with the additional control of Lucca, sleep, disarm, as well as stun will be able to act as the control that the team will need to pass through the deficit stages. So that's why these four, they will be the core units. So Healwin will be used usually with, for example, like the Odie, Smokey, Coco team, but it's like an additional piece and not the center combo piece. Rowan, same thing, you can use Rowan in multiple teams as well, but same thing, Rowan is sort of like a combo piece in those teams. And for Tasi's case, Tasi is sort of like a semi-replacement for either Carolina or Arden in the Iron Armor's comp, so technically also a combo piece. So these four units right here, they are the core centerpiece for the team, right? So for the very last slot, it depends on the situation, in a sense, do you need more zoo power, do you need more control power? So if you need more zoo power, you need additional bodies, you need additional control. I think Floribel is amazing, because Floribel being able to spam her ultimate is also another layer of control to sort of hold the enemy in place as Tasi is running all over the place to use her skills itself. At the same time, providing additional body means that you lighten the load on Lucca, and at the same time, right, you have both the magical and physical type, so you have both the hybrid damages to deal with those pesky stages where you have dual immunity or dual magical and physical reduction. So that's one thing for our dear Floribel. So this will give you a 3+2. Okay, you can also use Temasia for this team, but for Temasia's case right now, Temasia is used a lot in the Iron Armors Carolina team. So like I mentioned earlier, I try to not touch units which are commonly used in those teams and try to use units which are sort of like additional pieces to give you more team variety. So for this case, we will stick with Florbell or Danny, or if you have Talene with enough EX weapon level. I think Talene so far is probably one of the good or the best substitute for that very last slot or that like very last piece for the team, because Talene's ultimate, if you do have EX15, provides for an additional life for your frontliner, which is our dear Luca here, and then you can put Talene behind Luca. So this 3 unit will get an attack buff, so Talene will be able to do more damage. Our dear Rowan and Hewin will be able to provide for more heals, because as their attack increase, the heal value also increases. And with Talene in the backline, the Pyro Renewal also applies for this additional damage over time on your frontliner, which is Luca right here. So this red color aura will be able to slowly burn and wither down the enemy. So this is a few, I'll say, like perks with Talene. So I'll be showcasing the team with Talene. I'll also be showcasing the team with Florbell. And the artifact of choice is Binding Spell, because right now Binding Spell gives you quite a bit of stats to survive really well, and also additional control. So this team has both control, sustain, as well as AoE damage. So let's showcase this team. Okay, 2 times. Okay, we'll go at 1 time so that you guys can see what is happening. Okay, so Binding Spell will leave one enemy, reposition them. Okay, and then we use Luca to leave the enemy and then leave the enemy close to Luca, so that when Luca uses the ram itself, he will be able to hit as many targets as possible. So right here, he rams into Seth, disabling for a little bit. Okay, we got additional control. So with the heal, with the control, with the sustain in the team itself, Tasi will be able to reach the ultimate, as you guys can see, and then we will be able to get this slower version of the Tasi Rowan chain. So right here, we leave the enemy and throw them. As you guys can see, we group everyone together. Okay, and then we disable them with a ram, palm, and then you get like even more time for Tasi to use the next ultimate. So this team has, I'll say, like a lot of control, has a lot of damage as well, because if you run Talene and Tasi, they are pretty much the best AoE damage dealer. And then you have different types of control which can bypass annoying units like our dear Igor, or units which are steadfast within the AFK stage right here. Okay, so we are done. As you guys can see, battle 1 done. So with this team right here, since you're not using like your core pieces, you're not using your important pieces, you can use your other powerful teams, for example the Smokey, OD and Coco team right here, to deal with the other stages. You can also use your Iron Armors combo for this stage as well. So for this one, the stage is a little bit painful, so I think we need to use Iron Armors control. So all the Iron Armors control units are still available because we don't use them in the previous team, and we can deliver in this team. So let's put in Temasia. Let's make Temasia's over here, and then we need the Armors to complete the team. So against these enemies, I'll be using the Iron Armors core. Okay, so right here, let's see. Okay, we can use our Resonating Spell because it's also free, because we use Confining Spell for the other team, for the stats as well as the control. So then we have our other teams freed up for the other stages. So this builds up a brand new team building idea for those of you guys who are searching for multiple team alternatives to give you greater variety in your AFK stage push. So later on, I'll also be showcasing another run, but this time around, I'll be replacing Talene with other units to show you guys that the core of the team works perfectly fine even without Talene. Okay, so right here, I'll be showcasing the power with Florbell. So Florbell is the additional control, additional body, and let's start the battle. Okay, so the position is as such that I can actually position my units in a safer back lines and also give the resonating buff to Tasi right there. Okay, so additional control, stun. Okay, Luca with the additional air. We're going to slow down this fight, and later on I'll move to the fractional talent stage to showcase this team combo as well. Okay, bounce around, bounce around. Okay, leaves the enemy, additional control. Then we have the control from Tasi as well as our dear Florbell. Okay, so this is pretty much the cycling. I'll just go at 2 times, and then later on we'll go to the fractional stages. Okay, So the enemy has some sort of heal over there, which is a little bit annoying, but I think it's fine. Should be able to finish this stage with 40 seconds left. So this team is obviously not going to be as like damage heavy as the Smoky and the, I'll say like the Carolina Iron as well as Armor's team. But I think in terms of dealing with stages where the enemy is weak to control, doesn't have that many sustain, I think this team is pretty sufficient. Yeah. Okay. So sleep. Last 70 seconds. Can we finish the battle? 10 seconds. Can we? Ah, Tasi, stop dying. I need you to do damage. Tasi! 6 seconds. Pause. Pause. Clutch. Okay, so we managed to kill it. Okay, we're gonna finish up this normal battle and then we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump into the factional talent side. Okay. So Rowan has already been used for the other team. So I think we need additional heals. We're gonna do this. Do I want to bring the enemies in? I think it's fine, right? Just using Type spell. Okay, Damien will take that Sylvina first onslaught. We have the heals from multiple sources, so we should be fine. So we have heal from Smokey, we have heal from Damien, and we also have the damage reduction from Coco with the Type spell spam. So the only thing is actually Cecia's ultimate, which is quite a massive control and AoE damage. Okay, maybe not. We got to reposition Smokey a little bit. So put Smokey here, over here, over here, over here. Yes, okay. Okay. Hopefully we can go through Cecia's ultimate. Okay. Demon comes out. So we should have some heals ongoing for the team. Coco's ultimate go through. Should be fine. We might need to manual Odie's ultimate to go after the key targets. Okay, nice. Sniping off all the frontliners done. Then next one will be Cecia and then followed by Brian. So Cecia should be sniped down with the stun from Damien. Okay, as well as the poison from Odie sniped. Okay, so Mr. Chaos is down. Okay, throws the poison. Okay, we are done with this one. Is the Q pop? Okay. Done. Okay, so let's run through the damage distribution again, just to see the different distribution of numbers. So if you take a look at this one, Luca is taking a heck lot of damage right here. So quite a bit of damage, and then we have the damage dealer from Florbell as well as Tasi right here. So this exact same combo or team setup can also be used against the factional talent stages. Okay, so for this season talent stage, because of the existence of this dead type mage, Tasi is not exactly the best unit against this stage, so we will be using the Luca team in the second showcase. For this one, it's a little bit challenging. I think I'll be using Talene here, I guess, for the additional heals and the additional damage. Yes, question is, I think Verdant spell for additional defense. Yeah, this dead type mage is really very painful to deal with, especially when you're at high deficit pushes. So I think Smokey team should have no problem against the dead type mages once Smokey's ultimate come online. And then we have additional damage from Talene and heal, so that our sustain should be okay. Then we have Coco for damage reduction. Channel, okay. Ultimate up. Okay, second ultimate from Smokey. Ultimate from Talene still channeling, so damage as well as heal for the team. Okay, third ultimate up. So we should be able to start withering down all these different units right here. Burn, 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 burn. Okay, the very last one. Heal and sustain should be able to burn it down eventually. Okay, so now to feature the Luca Tasi team here. So this is basically the same setup. The core 4 of Luca, Tasi, Hewin as well as Rowan. Then for the very last slot, I want additional control. So we can be using Tamasia, we can be using Walker, we can also be using Sinbad for additional debuff. You basically need another lightbearer to sort of finish the combo. So let's start the battle right here. Okay. We're just going to go at 2 times. So this team, I'll say, has 3 different controls here. Luca, Walker, as well as Tasi. And then we have the sustain and support from Rowan as well as Hewin. So is this the best team setup? I'll say for the lightbearer side, Lucca is definitely an okay replacement for Lucius, but in certain scenarios, you will still want to use Lucius for the heals as well as the shielding ability. So it is a viable option, but it is not the only option. So just a team for consideration for those of you guys who have the ability to raise up Lucca while being able to raise up all the other teams as well. Okay. So that's pretty much it for this simple best PvE team for Lucca right now. I'll probably be exploring the PvP side for Lucca because I haven't been able to find much success with Lucca on the PvP side, unfortunately. So I will probably take some time to figure out what are the teams that will work with him. But if you guys are looking for a Lucca viable PvE team, the core unit of Lucca, Huwin, Rowan, as well as Tasi is very viable both on the season talent stage as well as the normal AFK stage right there. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.